a bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode.
Just a beautiful afternoon for football, Coach. They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
Ready. 60 outlaw.
Be a long day for you.
Shoot.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Second and 10 now from the 27.
Ready.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
On fourth down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Lions will take over. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Now it's Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. But it's going to be second down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 46. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. There to make the tackle, Khalil Mack. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Hey, 22!
From the gun, here's Stafford. Over the middle, complete. It's Terry. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Alert!
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Stafford. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson, and it's 3rd down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7.
Double right! Hey, wahoo!
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Right 28. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and I think those numbers are going to increase. I can remember a game here in Chicago a few years back. It was so blustery that Robbie Gould tried a field goal and just about kicked it out of bounds. Once that wind starts coming in off Lake Michigan, it can cause havoc in the kicking game.
Now a chance to take advantage of that missed field goal. 1st and 10, way up at the 37. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Coming to you. Coming to you.
Five.
2nd and 1. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 14 yards in a Chicago 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On the ready.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. First down, a run with Cohen. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second and 4 at the 34-yard line.
The last run got 6, now second and 4.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go, here we go.
Second and 4. Open man is Trey Burton. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Stop your whining.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10. They'll run on second down with Cohen. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on third and a tough 9. We're scoreless after 1. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession. They're on the march, but facing a third down here. They'll look to throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure. NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
Hey, 7.
Second and 5 now. Stafford. This is caught at the 20. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point pretty close to that right upright, but he does get it to go. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight unable to find anyone open.
Ready?
He'll look to throw. He's got his tight end, Burton. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38.
Check four.
This is Cohen. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. A huge play there for Chicago. And even 60 yards for him on the ground. After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal. Second and 3. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. Back to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
6-6, pull it high.
Second and 5 now. Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's first and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a carry for Sanders. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
To throw is Stafford. He'll get this one to Golladay. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Set, 280. Hey, 5-0.
Watch the twist. 58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Man, I got you.
Hey, seam 6.
58 for Mike.
Hey, easy.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. And this score will stay right where it is.
Ready, 70, Indy.
Tighten up,
80 weapon.
They'll run on first down. It's Cohen, and he'll get it down here to the 43. Tackle made by the third-round pick out of Louisiana, Tracy Walker. 2nd and 6. Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle him up at different levels, that front line's got to take care of business. Otherwise, he starts to slip through.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from the first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And he's got Miller. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Oh, we got it. We got it. Good job, D. Good job, D.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Operating from the gun. Stafford. And that will be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On second down now, it's Cook, and only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Back to throw here. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Stanford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chad Thomas bringing the power on the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Hey, box drop.
On 3rd down, Stafford. He'll rifle this one deep right side, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw, Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
At the 17-yard line.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Throwing is Stanford. The Sanders has got it complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and have the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Middle. Big 20. 58, come on. Hey.
Stafford now to throw. And he rifles one incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
To throw on 3rd down. Stafford. Galladay's got it. And the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder, puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. A pass down the middle is fought for and hauled in. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for Chicago. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fun.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. 2nd and 15. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. This will be caught at about the 6. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. And this one is right through. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Kyle Fuller. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. This will be fielded at the 6. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few.
Down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford. And his throw is incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
Well, to your point, it was a nice job in knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Stafford. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Khalil Mack. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here comes the Lions punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. On the return is Cohen. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. They will clock a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines?
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
2nd and 9 now. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going on the field, but okay, I see you. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Akeem Hicks that time on the tackle. Now Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field.
You got it. You got it.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Number 53, Mike 53. I got you. I got you. Hey, 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 hey. 53 at the mark. Right here, right here. Alert 3, alert 3.
Stafford now to throw. He's going to let it go again. And this is going to be intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far.
22.
First throw in overtime for Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
First down, Lions.
Set. Blue 60.
On first down, Sanders. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Another run with Sanders. And an alley to run. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime.